Hey, good morning from the office. I'm your host, BKP. We are North Georgia's only live online morning show. There is the phone number, the email address, and all the ways to follow us on social media. We have a, one of the phrases that most of these elite media, they'll say, we have a lot to unpack here. Does that bother you when we say, like, there's a lot to unpack in today's show? I had to have a drink and make sure you had enough time to see if that bothers you. All right, so yesterday's show, I'm going to get some backlash on this, but I'm going to go for it, all right? It's not going to be bad. Well, it's never bad. It's my damn show. You can be here if you want. If you need to leave, whatever, right? I'm not encouraging you to leave. I sincerely apologize for that, I guess. Let's see here. I'm like Joe Biden. You got number 17 teed up. Are we there? Ready? I know you had a lot to do this morning. Yeah. I'm like Joe Biden. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going a damn place. I'm like Joe. I'm not going anywhere. You got it? So Joe says he's not going anywhere. But, you know that day, and here's where I'm saying, you're going to say, I never had that day. But you know that day you were like wondering, why did I vote for this guy? Why did I vote for Donald J. Trump? Why? Number 7, please. Why did I vote for this guy, right? Yesterday reaffirms all and some reasons why you voted for, you will vote for, and you're looking forward to his second term, Donald J. Trump. Now, that's the president of Finland, right? And I don't know if you can see it, but I will say this. He's not, the look on his face is, can I get the hell out of here? I mean, this is crazy as hell. You people are crazy. You've lost your damn mind over here. I'm trying to have a meeting with the President of the United States. Everything is haywire. At that expression, I watched the president's press conference with the president of Finland yesterday. I watched his opening press introduction with the president of Finland yesterday in the Oval Office. And this guy is like, when can I get the next flight the hell out of here? These people have gone crazy. And I'm with him, man. The dude in Finland, president yesterday, I'm with him. So yesterday just is like, every reason why you voted for Donald Trump and some, and why I think he will get a second term and a landslide, but it will not be that easy. So let me just say something very quickly here, okay? There's a couple things. We're going to play video. We're going to play a lot of video because there's times when you get out of the way and you let it speak for itself. And the president's words yesterday is something I want to let speak for itself. But how did we get here? Okay, I want to do a real quick, I only have 2 hours a day. How did we get here? Okay, and let me say this. How do we get here? What is it all about? Yes, it's about globalist trade, everything. Yesterday, the American people won very big win, number 11, okay? And I'm just putting this out here for you to pay attention for the next couple days. U.S. to impose tariffs on EU aircraft and agricultural products. What is missing from that? That the United States won a battle at the WTO, World Trade Organization, that we can now put, now number 12, here's the Wall Street Journal, number 12, okay? U.S. to impose tariffs on EU goods after WTO Airbus ruling, all right? So this is going to send the EU in a tailspin. The Trump organization has been waiting for some opportunities like this, and it's going to send the EU into a tailspin. Just my quick opinion, the win that we could put tariffs on on EU products now, several different products, I think is going to also be a win for the people and Boris Johnson of the UK on getting out of the EU. Watch and see if this doesn't correlate. Would that be it? We'll just leave it there. But that's not in anything yesterday. I watch CNN at 4 a.m. and I watch I watch MSNBC, and they do really quick blurbs, and you would not think that the U.S. won anything at the WTO yesterday. So that was big. But what I like to do is I like to say, how did we get here? Now, number 28, all right? Because a lot of Republicans are wondering this, and it's pretty simple. Now, President yesterday said, President Donald Trump said, Nancy Pelosi, Trump lashes out over impeachment inquiry, calls probe bullshit. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. Because it's just bullshit, okay? And there's a clip in here I'm going to show in a minute or put up. President's profane statement. Bullshit, right? So calls pro bullshit, slams Representative Schiff, scolds reporter at news conference. We're going to get into all that. But Nancy Pelosi is handing out subpoenas left and right, okay? Absolutely left and right. And the impeachment inquiry that is going on is nothing but a hoax. It's a coup, all the above, just like President says. Now, Pelosi says yesterday in the news conference, okay, first of all, Adam Schiff is mentally ill. He's mentally ill. Yes, he is. And he should be on trial for treason, period. But she says in a news conference yesterday that they can walk and chew gum. Remember, Democrats can walk and chew gum. Well, I mean, just saying, you know. So they can impeach, and also, you'll be happy to know, America, they can focus on kitchen table issues for the American people. So they could do the impeachment, not a big thing, and they could focus on prescription drug prices. That's important to you. They could focus on your actual health care, all right, issues. They can focus on all the things that are important to you in America. They can focus on immigration. They can focus on border security. You name it, they can do it. It's a lie, okay? It is a lie. Because the lady at the stand there, go look it up yourself. She has been in Congress, what, 30 years? No joke. Go look it up. I mean, what is she, 82, 79, 83? But she has been there, what, 30 years? She's a liar. She's a flat-out liar. Now, don't forget, when Barack Obama became president of the United States, he had a supermajority. And what does that mean? Okay? Because everything the House does, they got to send over to the Senate. If the Senate's got 51, 52 votes, it's almost useless, okay? But you have to have 60. You need a supermajority because the rule hasn't changed in the Senate. So the last time Nancy was Speaker of the House and she looked at you and said, we care about prescription drug prices, the opiate addiction that's killing your kids, heroin in this country, drugs crossing the border, illegal immigration, border security, we care about your health care, all the above. They had a supermajority. They could have put everything up and they could have done it in 3 weeks. Nothing, folks. Nothing. But try to take over your health care. 0. They want you to be on a Medicare for all plan, okay? All of us. They did nothing. They had a supermajority. So every time NBC, ABC, any of them say that Nancy Pelosi and Democrats are working on health care, working on prescription drug prices, working on so many things that need to be done in this country that affect you and I, it's a lie. They had a supermajority. They did nothing. They don't care. They did not care then. They do not care now. Period. Okay? They're corrupt. Now, really quick, I don't want to get too sidetracked on this. Let's go to 29. And the reason I say this, we're going to get into Trump's videos in a minute. The do-nothing Democrats should be focused on building up our country, not wasting everybody's time and energy on bullshit. Just say it. Oh, there's one of those many reasons I voted for the guy, and we'll do it again, and we'll encourage you to vote for him. Hey, listen, American people are tired of bullshit. I get to say that all day now, because the president did it. Why are you saying that, little Billy? You know you're not allowed to use that language. But, Mommy, the president said bullshit. I want to say bullshit. There you go. All day long. Which is what they have been doing ever since I got overwhelmingly elected in 2016. 223 to 306, baby. Get a better candidate this time. You'll need it. And then Joe says, I'm not going anywhere. What a day yesterday. Now, the president of Finland, he can't get out of here fast enough. Now, let me see if I can find one other thing I want to do before we get close to another thing. Let's go to number 27. Bernie Sanders is off the campaign trail, recovering from a procedure to clear artery blockage with stents. Now, let's just put this into perspective. Bernie and Elizabeth and, Medicare for all. Bernie happened to be able to enjoy the Cadillac plan that the Senate has, okay, for his elite socialist ass. I'm serious. This elite senator in the United States of America, this multi-millionaire, okay, get me a chair. I'm a little winded. So they rush him over to the hospital. You got some blockages in that artery. So a senator, a sitting senator, did not have to make an appointment. He's on a campaign trail. Somehow they found him doctors. They found his plan. You got insurance? Yeah, that's the good stuff. Yeah, we'll take you right in. So they roll him right through emergency, put him in there. Boom. Now I'll tell you what they did. They did one of those heart catheterizations immediately. That's a big deal. They got to find a heart specialist. What is the guy? A cardiologist. I mean, boom, just like that, they got to get a top cardiologist. They got to go in with the camera, pinpoint it. Now, when they go in, they do the stents too. He gets his stents. He's back out. He's recovering. Medicare for all, baby. Guess what? You and I would never get that treatment. Oh, hail to the no. Hell no. Hell no. I'll say that 3 times. We would never get that treatment. But they want to take your health care and go Medicare for all. Wave a magic wand. Oh, it's going to work perfect. You wait, Medicare for all. You get winded one day and you sit down and you say, oh my gosh, you go over to the hospital and say, well, we need to check out your ticker. Bernie got it all. So don't fall for the lies by no means. Now, how did we get here? I want to do this real quick, and what's it about, okay? How did we get here? Right? So we won the House of Representatives, and we gave it to this dumbass, number 2. I'm sorry, it's kind of day. It's kind of day. I got to roll with it. Like Trump says, bullshit. This is bullshit, all right? So Republicans, we have to understand where we're at. So I'm talking directly to Republicans. How did we get here? Where are we at? What we got to do? And were you prepared for the fight when somebody said this? Okay, so first of all, well, why you got to go back here? Look, man, we gave it to this dumbass, all right? And he's drinking and smoking and playing golf with the president and crying like a girl. Let's go to number 1. Here they are. Oh, yeah, they're yucking it up, him and Obama, just yucking it up, right? So then we give it to dumbass number 2. Republicans, number 3, number 2, number 3, boom. Give me number 3. So he gives it to dumbass number 2. Right? That was our Speaker of the House, John Boehner. Let's go back. I don't think I identified him properly. Number 1. So we win from Nancy Pelosi, right? Who had a supermajority that fixed Jack, all right? So we had that. We win, and we give it to Boehner, dumbass number 1, right? So then we go, Boehner says, I'm going home. I've screwed the American people all I can. I got all I wanted. I'm going to leave an omnibus bill this tall on a damn desk, and I'm getting the hell out of town. And we give it to dumbass number 3. Number 3 is dumbass number 2. Okay, so we give it to this dumbass, right? So he's up there swinging his little gavel, right? The little Paul Ryan from Wisconsin, the never Trumper, right? We give it to him. Now, let me stop right here and say, a lot of Republicans are out there saying, well, Nancy Pelosi, they're subpoenaing this, and they seen a frog jump across the street, and they tacked the subpoena to his ass, bumped right up on it, right? Well, Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker of the House, is the one that has the power to issue subpoenas, right? Why didn't we do it? Why didn't our committees do it? Why didn't Jim Jordan subpoena this? Why didn't Trey Gowdy subpoena this? Because of this jackass. Right there on the screen. Paul Ryan would not give out the subpoenas. Why didn't we do this when we had the gavel? Right there's the reason why we didn't. We got to see where we're at. We got to know where we're coming from, where we're at, and what we're going into to face this storm in front of us, okay? Because it's not only a fight for Trump to become president. We need to fight to win back the House of Representatives. And then when we win back the House of Representatives, we need to hand the gavel to somebody like Congressman Doug Collins or Congressman Jim Jordan, if that's your choice. We sure as hell don't need to be looking at winning the battle and giving it to Kevin McCarthy. Oh, my God, just the thought. Oh, heartburn. No, we don't need to be giving it to Kevin McCarthy. So that's what we need to focus on. But we're going somewhere with this, okay? So this guy didn't give out the subpoenas. So quit asking. Nancy Pelosi, the President of the United States, said, hey, Nancy's giving out subpoenas like cookies. I mean, cookies everywhere. You talking to me? I love it. Trump throws a you talking to me line out yesterday. We'll get in that in a minute. But Pelosi's throwing them out like cookies. We could not do. Now, here's where we're at. One more time. I'm going to get to the point here. Number 4. Number 4, right there. Remember that? When Paul Ryan handed Nancy back the gavel? Folks, we got to know where we come from. We have to know where we're going. Now, when, I don't have a picture of him right now, but when the Attorney General, William Barr, now listen to this, because you got to know this, okay? I'm preparing you for the battle, and I'm preparing myself for the battle. How you get prepared, it's up to you. There will be a battle. We have to fight it. We have to fight it. It's here. It's in our face. So when you and I, we're watching Attorney General Barr, okay, we're watching him say, I want to look at the genesis of this. Well, what did we do? Oh, bravo, oh boy, bravo. And we went out of there, we called our friends. Did you hear what Barr said today? He wants to get to the genesis. I like this guy, all right? We did all that. But guess what? Barr started cranking up the get to the genesis machine. And we know if we want to get to the genesis of the Russian collusion delusion, we have to go into Ukraine. We know that. We know Ukraine is a cesspool of corruption. So when Barr said that, what did you think the result was going to be? Did you think they were going to take the evidence lying down? Do you think they were going to just let Barr come back and say, hey, I'd like to report on how corrupt you people are and the intelligence community and what we found? Hell no. Then the guy went and he appointed Durham, right? He appointed Durham. And when he appointed Durham, go to number 32 for a minute there, okay? We'll get to this in a minute. So when he appointed Durham up in Connecticut, and Durham's not exactly on Robert Mueller's special counsel's Christmas card list over the whole Whitey Bulger, you need to go through the details. When he appointed him, so I'm just going to take two things. A couple things. When Attorney General Barr said, yes, I feel there was a spy. Yes, I feel the campaign was spied on. Yes, I feel there's things with the FISA warrants that we are concerning we need to look at. Yes, I think we need to look at the genesis of the origin of all of this. And I'm going to point Durham here, Whiskers, that, hey, he's not on Mueller's Christmas card list. He's going to start looking at a lot of these things. What did you think when you heard that? You cheered. You called your friends. Hey, you see what Barr... But as that progressed, here is as simple as could be, okay? And we know Shifty Schiff wrote this. We know it. I'm going to say that allegedly. Oh, my God, oh, my God, oh, my God. I should put up the address so people know how to sue my ass if they need to. Anyhow, Shifty Schiff, we know that he was well aware of this leak that is being masked as a whistleblower. Okay, we know he was well aware of it before it ever came out. So what happened here is you had all of these things starting to get in line. We've got the corruption is being exposed. We got evidence. So the Democrats said, we have to yell first and we have to yell loudest. We have to yell over somebody. I mean, when you're talking to somebody, you have that person. It has been me in the past. I will admit. But you have that person that yells over the other person because they don't want to hear what they have to say, right? They just want to pound their point home. I've done it a time or two. I'm trying to get better at it, not take that approach. Anyhow, so the Democrats said, here's what we're going to do. We're going to yell over you. We're going to yell first. We're going to start impeachment. We're going to create a phony reason to impeach. And we're going to yell the loudest before you can start bringing forth your evidence. All right? So whether you like it or not, Democrats are poised with the corrupt media. Now, yesterday, God, it was so much of why I love this President of the United States. I voted for him, and I will try to get you to vote for him and get your friends to vote for him again, is because I have been saying, if you'll go on my social media, I always say what? Hashtag, right? I stopped saying fake news a little while ago, right? I say hashtag for months. Hashtag deep state corporate corrupt media, right? Every day on this show. Well, yesterday, once again, proving the President of the United States watches my show or has people keep up with the show here. Yeah, I do. I feel that way. As long as I feel that way, damn it, that's all that matters. You got it? So anyhow, yesterday the President said, I'm not going to call you fake news anymore. I'm going to call you the corrupt media. And I was like, bam, bingo, I've been telling you that. He said corrupt media. Remember that? So they're yelling loudest right now. They have the corrupt media helping them yell loudest, and they are vindicating everything. You remember they freaked out when Mueller come out and, Trump was, vindicated. I'll just say it like that. No collusion, vindication, whatever. The media went nuts. No, that's not what Mueller said. No, that's not what Mueller said. Now, the media is working as hard as they can every time Trump says something. They're debunking it. So look at this one right here. This is the IG Attorney General. I forget his name, but he goes behind closed doors yesterday. You're not going to hear a whole lot about what happened behind closed doors, not because the Democrats know how to keep a secret. Oh, hell no. Not for that reason. You're not going to hear what happened behind closed doors because they don't want to tell you, because he showed up with a packet of Ukrainian corruption evidence. So here's the bottom. Read the bottom. State Department Attorney General turns over documents to Congress, right? But in the small print there, House Dems say package contained debunk conspiracy theories. So 2 days ago, It's urgent. The IG said he must get in there now. It's urgent. He has to speak to the intel community. Adam Schiff and the gang. It is absolutely urgent. So what does he do? He goes into this urgent meeting that the media set up. That was such a big deal. He had to get in there. He had information, all right, behind closed doors, and he hands Dems a package containing debunked conspiracy theories. They don't even want to see the evidence, folks. They will not look at the evidence, period, where it comes to the corruption in the deep state. I better take a break. Oh, I'm enjoying this day. We're going to come back, and we're going to have the president in his own words in our second segment. Take us to break.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Ace is your helpful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
I'm Jeff Riblett, President of Asset Protection Group. As a certified financial planner and with 20 years experience, I've helped thousands of families and business owners create a tremendous amount of wealth. Fortunately, most of that wealth has been protected. Don't allow an unforeseen life event, such as a nursing home stay or the next market meltdown, destroy your family's wealth. Be smart. Call me. Let's determine how best to protect your assets and preserve your wealth.
Hey folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. Now let me say this, okay? I think people will disagree with me on impeachment. When I say it's all about, you have to know the road will run through, where the road will run through, okay? So let me give me number, if there's a second term, which I think there will be, of the President of the United States, number 33. All right, the Supreme Court of the United States. We watched CNN, we watched MSNBC, we watched Dianne Feinstein lie, we watched them make up phony rape charges, okay, which is sad, which, you know, there's women out there that have been raped that are reporting their rape and not being taken serious today, and that's just sad. And we allowed this to happen with women, Dianne Feinstein, and the list goes on. But everything about the impeachment runs through right here. And you disagree with me because if the fight, okay, see the balance of power, okay, when Neil Gorsuch, and I said this yesterday and I won't take too much time, when Neil Gorsuch was appointed to the bench, far top, left or right, I don't know, white-haired guy, the outrage was not as bad due to the fact that it hadn't shifted the bench. Kavanaugh has shifted the bench. Now, there's a possibility, okay, there's two, and let me make this quick because this is my scenario. In the back, the two ladies in the back are appointed by Barack Obama, so he has two. Clarence Thomas, the black guy, was appointed by George H. Bush, which he has one. Okay. George W. Bush appointed in the front, Samuel Alito on the end, and John Roberts, which is a conservative until whatever they're blackmailing him with, they tell him to vote their way. So we hoped he was a conservative, but Alito and Roberts are two for none other than George W. Bush. And then Bill Clinton has Ginsburg on there in the chair, a little frail lady. And then is that Stevens or Breyer? I forget his name on the end, but he has two. So 3 presidents have 2, 4, 6, right? 1 has 1, and Trump now has 2 is 9. I know you just watched me do that on my fingers. So there's a possibility, long shot, but there's a possibility it could be a 5-4 court. And in the 5-4 court, it could be 5 Trump appointees. Clarence Thomas wants to retire. Ginsburg and Breyer or Stevens, I forget his name there. He may go, he's 80 years old, he may go to sleep one night and a pillow be over his head, just like Antonin Scalia. You never know. But all jokes aside, the president can get 1, 2, maybe 3, and you will have a Donald Trump 5-4 court. Now, why do I say this is the core of the impeachment? Because trade, world trade, what the president can do and can't do, what trade he can approve and can't approve, will go through the Supreme Court. Gun legislation, your Second Amendment, everything about what it can, can't do will go through this Supreme Court. Freedom of speech, okay? Your freedom of speech will go through this Supreme Court. Is it the Fourth Amendment, illegal search and seizure? Our constitutional right to our privacy, and you can't have my stuff, look in my stuff, search my car, come on my property unless I say it's okay, will go through this Supreme Court. Roe v. Wade, abortion, will go through this Supreme Court. Medicare for all will go through this Supreme Court. Absolutely nothing. The EPA, if the EPA finds a certain turtle that walks across the highway and they close the highway, the EPA will go through this Supreme Court. LGBTQ community issues. So the list goes on. We'll go through this Supreme Court. This Supreme Court will handle the biggest issues in my lifetime. Well, wait a minute. Were you not alive when Roe v. Wade became law? Were you not alive when this became law? No, no, no. The biggest issues that will change this country for good or make a correction and apply the Constitution in your lifetime will go through this Supreme Court. It's all out, got to get rid of Trump. Because if they put Mike Pence in place, which they won't, because now they're coming up with reasons why they have to, right? They have to impeach Mike Pence. You never thought, for the most part, people will say, political pundits, and especially if they've got a political science degree, they will say, you know what? The Supreme Court's not really a big issue to voters. I highly disagree now, and I know it's a big issue to the deep state. So either we are going to correct this country constitutionally and have it upheld through the Supreme Court, or we're done and over through the Supreme Court. Because you look at that list and you let a Democrat reappoint Clarence Thomas's, the black guy, Clarence Thomas, Justice Thomas seat. You let a Democrat reappoint Ruth Bader Ginsburg's seat, okay? You know, you let any and all of that happen. And, or even a Republican. George W. Bush gave us John Roberts. So don't say even if Trump is out, we get another Republican, we can still get the Supreme Court. Don't go for that. All right, so that's how I feel about that. Candidly, is this is running through the Supreme Court of the United States. Now let's go to let's see, my first, I've sent it here. Let's go to the second video, not the first one I sent. Let's go to the video that says Trump speaks about impeachment during meeting in Finland with Finland's president. Let's go with that one, okay? And let's start that. Now, right out of the box, the President of the United States is sitting down with the President of Finland, right? And they're going to have a discussion. No. No respect for any foreign leadership that comes to this country. No respect for any allies. Let's go to 4550 on that one, and let's start right there, and I'll tell you where to stop.
Purchases and lots of different very exciting events. So we'll have a long time together today. We'll then be having lunch. I think we're going to be seeing the media right afterwards and say a few words, but it's an honor, Mr. President, to have you with us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm waiting for our discussions.
Yes. See, he's a man of few words and he gets it done. That's what I like that's what I like about him. Anyway, okay, thank you all very much.
President Trump has responded to concerns that you are putting the whistleblower's life in danger.
Well, the whistleblower was very inaccurate. The whistleblower started this whole thing by writing a report on the conversation I had with the president of Ukraine. And the conversation was perfect. It couldn't have been nicer. I saw Rick Scott. I saw many of the senators talking about it, many of the congressmen talking about it. Not a thing wrong, unless you heard the Adam Schiff version where he made up my conversation. He actually made it up. It should be criminal. It should be treasonous. He made it up, every word of it, made up, and read to Congress as though I said it. And I'll tell you what, he should be forced to resign from Congress. Adam Schiff, he's a lowlife. He should be forced to resign. He took a perfect conversation, realized he couldn't read it to Congress because it was perfect. It was a very nice conversation. I knew many people were on the phone. Not only were many people on the phone, we had stenographers on the phone taking it down word for word. He took that conversation, which was perfect. He said, I can't read this. So he made up a conversation and he reported it and said it to Congress and to the American people. And it was horrible what he said. And that was supposed to be coming from me, but it was all fabricated. He should resign from office in disgrace. And frankly, they should look at him for treason, because he is making up the words of the President of the United States. Not only words, but the meaning, and it's a disgrace. It should not be allowed to happen.
Your own DNI said the call transcript was consistent with the complaint, so should...
No, he didn't say that. You have to take a look. No, he did not say that. And in fact, if you look at what he said, he found everything to be very normal. He's a good man, and Joe, and he found it to be very normal. I saw Schiff trying to go 15, call him Shifty Schiff. We don't call him Shifty Schiff for nothing. He's a shifty, dishonest guy who, by the way, was critical of one of the great Secretary of States. Graduated #1 in his class at West Point. Graduated one of the top in his class at Harvard Law School. The most honorable person, Mike Pompeo. And this guy was negative on Mike Pompeo. He can't, there's an expression, he couldn't carry his blank strap. I won't say it because they'll say it was so terrible to say. But that guy couldn't carry his blank strap. Do you understand that? So you're dealing with bad people. And I watched China over the last few days, and I watched some of these other countries build up. And we built up more than any of them because of me. But no help due to the Democrats. They're a disaster. They're the do-nothing Democrats. They don't do any work. All they want to do is try and win the election in 2020. So they come up with this impeachment nonsense, and everyone knows. The conversation, all based on one phone.
Okay. Now hold. Okay. Now hold where we're at. Like where you stop, back it up about 5 seconds and hold it there, because we're going to come right back where you stopped it. Okay, if you can do that. Okay. Now, I want to fill in. This is in his own words today. Let Donald Trump do it, okay? So what I want to do is I want to fill in the blank. Adam Schiff could not carry Mike Pompeo's jockstrap. Now, if you were wondering what that blank was, because the President of the United States said, if I say it, they'll say, oh, look how bad it is, I'm going to provide it for you. Mike Pompeo, Secretary of State, first in his class at West Point, top of his class at Harvard, quality. This is a bright man, very bright man. Adam Schiff should resign and should be charged with treason. He's a liar, okay, flat out liar, and he cannot carry. I love that. He cannot carry Mike Pompeo's jockstrap. So I filled in the blank for you. Now, second, the president's going to talk. Now, you look. It's very embarrassing on this country. It's always this. Finland they're an ally, okay? Now, Finland, we need to discuss EU trade. We need to discuss what came down with the World Trade Organization, Airbus, all the above. Need to discuss Brexit, but no. Okay, did you hear anything? The President of the United States sitting with the President of Finland, and they opened up. He said, we're going to be talking about trade. We're going to be talking about this. We're going to talk about all these great things. Okay, you? What did you? What happened? Right? Immediately. Impeachment. Then the President of the United States says, I have been watching, okay? I have been watching China build up. Remember, they released is it the DF-14? We'll show you that later. They released that. China previewed this past week after 70 years. Trump said, I see everybody building up. Look at what we're doing. Look at what we're focused on. China unveiled a warhead travels 7,000 something miles an hour, can travel 9,000 total miles, can reach every corner of the earth, and has 10, count them, 10 nuclear warheads. So let's go back to that video and start right where we left off.
Come up with this impeachment nonsense, and everyone knows the conversation, all based on one phone call that I had, where I'm talking to the president of Ukraine. You'll hear from our ambassadors, you'll hear from some of the folks that know all about the call, why the call was set up, and everything else. It's perfect. The call was perfect. In fact, Lindsey Graham said, I didn't know you could be so nice. There was no quid pro quo. Remember before they said, the only reason I put that out, and I did it with the approval of Ukraine, by the way, otherwise I couldn't have done it, was because the whistleblower was so dishonest. The whistleblower said terrible things about the call, but I then found out he was second hand and third hand. In other words, he didn't know what was on the call. No, these are bad people. These are dishonest people. And when the American people find out what happened, it's going to be a great day. And you know what? We have to go back to building our country, because 99% of Nancy Pelosi's time is spent on this. She should worry about lowering the price of drugs, which I've done, but it's hard to do it without the help of Congress. About creating border security, which I've done. We now have hundreds of miles of wall under construction on the southern border. She should worry about infrastructure. She should worry about the USMCA. She's not doing it. I just saw part of a press conference before the president came. I'm sorry to bother you with this, Mr. President, because we have other things to talk about. But I will tell you, I just watched part. She says, oh, drug prices. Well, she's been trying to get drug prices down for, how long has she been in Congress? For years. She should focus on her own district. Do you see what's happening to her district? We call it tent city. It's terrible. In fact, we just sent a violation to the city of San Francisco. Unsafe water, unsafe conditions, environmental. EPA, our EPA, which is doing a great job, is sending Nancy Pelosi, with all the talk about EPA, there's needles and drugs all over the street. There's tents. There's people that are dying in squalor in the best location in San Francisco. It used to be a great city. Now you have to see what's happened to San Francisco. You happen to see what the Democrats have allowed to happen. As an example, what they've allowed to happen. Just take a look to Los Angeles, great cities. One other thing. Yesterday, as you know, I was sued by the governor, Gavin Newsom.
Back to me. Hold that position. Hold that position. I just want to bring up Nancy Pelosi's district, right? Now, I started the show with this, right? I'm doing this this is a bunch of bullshit, okay, what's going on. The president said it, I'm out there. I'm out there with it, okay? Schiff is mentally ill and needs to be brought up on charges for treason, okay? This is all a bunch of bullshit concocted, all right, where they're trying to yell louder than the investigators on Ukraine. Now, Nancy Pelosi goes to the podium yesterday, and, Schiff says, we're not going away. We're going to do this. We're not stopping, okay? Okay, we understand that your total campaign and everything you do is funded by George Soros. We get that. But Pelosi says, we can impeach and work on health care and work on prescription drugs. Look at her nasty district. Crapping in the streets, needles, disgusting. Nancy Pelosi's district. I mean, I don't even understand why, if they don't want to go Republican in San Francisco, why they're not actually looking for a Democrat to represent them to help clean up Nancy Pelosi's district. She's been in Congress for 30 years. She had a supermajority last time. A supermajority. She could have cleaned up this whole country and fixed all the things they claim. They're lies. Let's go back right where we left off, and let's just do a little more. I had some starting and ending points, but we're just going to keep going with this.
Another beauty. I was sued by him. He's a do-nothing. Sued by him so that I can't get on the ballot in the state of California. It was a massive story. It was the biggest story, Mr. President. It was headlines all over the place. Trump gets sued by this do-nothing governor in California. It was big. Here's what happened. Yesterday, I won the case, very convincingly. A very tough, smart, highly respected judge, not a Trump person at all, not appointed by Trump, appointed by somebody that you would call the opposition, came out with a scathing and tough opinion. I won the case. I didn't see one story that I won that case. Not one story. From the fake news. I didn't see Steve write it. I didn't see you write it. I didn't see anybody write it. So let me just tell you, just to finish. Nancy Pelosi and Shifty Shift, who should resign in disgrace, by the way, and Jerry Nadler and all of them. It's a disgrace what's going on. And we should be focused on making America great again and keeping America great, because that's what we have to do. And when I look at that parade with military and millions of people and everything else, we better get smart. We better start focusing on the right things. Because what they did with this nonsense, think of it. You have a perfect, I mean perfect, conversation with a president of another country, Ukraine in this case. And they try and say, oh, let's impeach him. They've been trying to impeach me from the day I got elected. I've been going through this for 3 years. They've been trying to impeach me from the day I got elected. And you know what? They failed. And this is the easiest one of all, because this one is based on one conversation. What about Obama's conversation with the president of Russia, where he says, hey, tell Vlad I'll talk to him after the election's over. I'll talk to him. Nobody reports that, right? That stuff you should report. But you people should be ashamed of yourself. We have the most dishonest media that you can imagine, and you should be ashamed of yourself.
Stop. Now, I want to roll that back about 5 seconds where he's going to start. Roll that back about 5 or 6 seconds when we start again, okay? Because I'm going to tell you, I mean, that's why I said today on the show, the second segment, we're going to do almost an hour of the president in his own words. We're going to break it down. Nancy Pelosi, Shifty Shift, Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, trying to keep the president off the ballot in California. All this bullshit that they're doing, all of it, total crap, trying to impeach this guy. You better pay attention to what China and everybody else is doing. Hey, Vlad, give me a chance to get reelected, and then I'll have a lot of room to talk and do what I want. You didn't report that. Now listen to the president square up the media. Now, today when I started this show, what did I say to you? If you ever wondered, why did I vote for this guy? Yesterday was over the top. Why you voted for him, why you need to vote for him again, and why you need to tell your friends to vote for him, because he said he's going to drain the swamp, so he's taking the heat. He's putting the people in place doing the investigations. He's taking the heat for what he promised you he would do. Now we have to support him. Let's go to his comments on the media, not right where we left off, when you backed it up a little. Start there.
Talk to him. Nobody reports that, right? That stuff you should report. But you people should be ashamed of yourself. We have the most dishonest media that you can imagine, and you should be ashamed of yourselves. Okay, I think I've answered most of your questions. What do you think?
Finnish media here. Finland is the happiest country in the world.
Finland is a happy country.
What can you learn? What can you learn from Finland?
Well, if you got rid of Pelosi and you got rid of Shifty Shift,
about that.
Finland is a happy country. He's a happy leader, too. No Republicans have raised concerns. I don't care. Look, I think a whistleblower should be protected if the whistleblower's legitimate. But when the whistleblower makes a big report on the conversation I had with a president of Ukraine, and it was a great conversation. We talked mostly about congratulations on your win. We talked about corruption, and we're really referring mostly to 2016, because what the Democrats did in 2016 was corrupt. And let's see what happens. They're more concerned with that than they are with me and impeachment. They're trying to hide what maybe is coming. I let our great, if you look, I let our great law enforcement take care of it, okay? Attorney General Barr, I guess, is working on it, and I hope he's working on it, because what happened in 2016 is a disgrace to this country. And they're more worried about that, because they know they're guilty as hell, all right? They're much more worried about that. When a whistleblower, okay, are you ready? I heard the whistleblower's report from you people, and how bad it was about just a simple conversation. By the way, this whole thing revolves around a simple conversation. And if you remember at the beginning, it was quid pro quo. That's all you heard about. And I think he said 7 or 8 times, quid pro. In other words, you're going to do that or we're not going to give you money. You're going to do this or we're not going to. I never said it. But when I heard these horrible stories come out, I had no choice but to release a conversation, which I hate to do, and I hope I don't have to do it again, with the leader of a country. I asked a certain person to call up a certain person in that country to get permission to do it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to do it. And if I didn't do it, and I appreciate Ukraine for allowing us to release the conversation, but it was so innocent, it didn't hurt them. If anything, it helped them, because it was a very innocent conversation. But when a whistleblower takes that very nice, innocent, Lindsey Graham said, I never knew you were that nice a person. He said, you never asked him for anything. You were really, really nice. Lindsey was saying, I never knew you were so nice. That was a perfect conversation. I heard Rick Scott today say that was a perfect conversation. How can they impeach him on that conversation? He read it. He's a very smart guy from Florida, Rick Scott. And he said, that was a perfect conversation. How can you impeach somebody on that conversation? But the whistleblower wrote not that conversation. He wrote a vicious conversation. In other words, he either got it totally wrong, made it up, or the person giving the information to the whistleblower was dishonest. And this country has to find out who that person was, because that person's a spy, in my opinion. You ready? So when a whistleblower, purposely or not, gives something that's totally erroneous. Now, here's where I fooled them. They never thought I'd release the conversation. They never thought in a million years that I'd release the conversation. When little Adam Schiff saw the text, when he read it, he couldn't believe it. When Nancy Pelosi, who worked a day early, Nancy Pelosi called for essentially impeachment. Let's impeach the president. Before she saw the transcript, and this is an exact word-for-word transcript of the conversation, right? Taken by very talented stenographers. Listen to me. So when she saw that, I heard she went crazy. She said, we can't impeach him of this conversation. That's a great conversation. She went by the whistleblower. And the whistleblower was so bad, I wouldn't even think about it. But here's what happened. The whistleblower was wrong. The only thing that matters is the transcript of the actual conversation that I had with the president of Ukraine. It was perfect. We're looking at congratulations. We're looking at doing things together. And what are we looking at? We're looking at corruption. And in, I believe, 1999, there was a corruption act or a corruption bill passed between both and signed between both countries, where I have a duty to report corruption. And let me tell you something. Biden's son is corrupt, and Biden is corrupt. And I'd rather run against Biden than almost any of those candidates, and I think they're all weak. But I think Biden has never been a smart guy, and he's less smart now than he ever was. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Mr. President, will you release the transcript of the
Thank you.
call, sir?
Thank you.
Biden and his son are corrupt. Bottom line. Joe Biden and his son are corrupt. Yesterday, Donald Trump was on target. The President of the United States put it right out there. He said, look, they can't take, I'm telling you, they can't take 2016 Barr's looking at the genesis. Remember what I told you in the opening of the show? When William Barr said we want to look at the genesis of all this, Trump just said they're guilty as hell. They're all guilty as hell, and they know it. So what they've done is they've come out to yell first and the loudest. So we're going to take a break. We're going to come back with the president in his own words again, and then we'll have a wrap-up at about 9:40. So let's take a brief break, and we'll be right back.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Hi, I'm Rhonda
to the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
Circuit World, with multiple locations to serve you in Murphy and Franklin, North Carolina, Blairsville, Blue Ridge, and Ellijay, Georgia. Locally owned and operated since 1985. Appliances, electronics, and furniture. Name brand products like LG, Samsung, Dell, Whirlpool, Ashley, Catnapper, and more. No credit check, only 10% down on furniture, and only $10 down on any new lease purchase. Mention FYN10 for your special deal today at Circuit World.
Do you feel like healthcare has become too impersonal?
3 times an hour, I'll get you in, I'll get you out.
At Lifetime Medical Center, you're more than a number. We get to know you, not just your medical issues. Dr. Alana Kent is board certified in family practice and offers same-day appointments. She and her staff treat conditions from minor to chronic issues. Lifetime Medical Center, convenient to Jasper and Blue Ridge.
This may sting a little.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in Ellijay, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge, we have your new house in stock.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
I'm Jeff Riblett, President of Asset Protection Group. As a certified financial planner and with 20 years experience, I've helped thousands of families and business owners create a tremendous amount of wealth. Fortunately, most of that wealth has been protected. Don't allow an unforeseen life event, such as a nursing home stay or the next market meltdown, destroy your family's wealth. Be smart. Call me. Let's determine how best to protect your assets and preserve your wealth.
Hey folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show, 9:05. Now, let me just say this. You can, the Vietnam Traveling Memorial Wall, do you have that picture I just sent over? Whenever you get that, if you can put that, there you go, thank you. Now, this is the Vietnam Memorial traveling wall, and I think it's 1/6 the scale of the actual wall in Washington, D.C. A lot of veterans are not able to travel to D.C. all the way across the wall. So, I mean, all the way across the country to visit the wall. This is a complete replica of the Vietnam Wall in D.C. That they put up with every single name. I have had an opportunity to see this wall in LJ and in Blairsville, and now it's back in Blue Ridge. It is something you really want to check out. It gives an opportunity to, veterans travel from Tennessee. When we had it in LJ, we had veterans that traveled 2 days to come see it, Vietnam vets. And family members that wanted to see their loved one's name. Now, you could take a piece of paper. I would watch people take a piece of paper and etch their loved one's name in a piece of paper. All the above. Families, church groups, brothers, sisters. It's just a time you walk up and you see somebody with their hand on the wall, and that's their brother's name. You see someone with an elderly man or woman, and you see somebody with their hand on the wall, touching it, and that's their son or their daughter's name. So that being said, that will be in Blue Ridge, okay? The traveling wall will be in Blue Ridge, Vietnam Traveling Wall. Let me give you the details. It's behind the Fannin County Chamber of Commerce, the Visitors Bureau, at the Blue Ridge United Methodist Church property. So on 515, it's behind the Chamber of Commerce Visitor Center, and it's on the United Methodist Church property. That is 235. So if you want to GPS this, 235 Orvin Lance Drive in Blue Ridge, okay? There's also a phone number you can call if you have any questions, 706-632-5680. Now, the wall is open 24 hours a day while it's here. It's from October 3rd. Today it comes in at noon. They start putting it up to October 7th when they actually have a ceremony to take it down and move it out of town to a new location. So the wall, once it's erected, will be open. You could go 24 hours a day if you're driving to get here, and there'll be security at all times during that. It's 3/5 scale of the Vietnam Memorial in Washington, D.C. It stands 6 foot tall, all right? The schedule, the wall will be open 24 hours a day with security. No weapons permitted on the site. The wall will arrive with the Patriot Guard riders and combat veterans. The group includes about 100 motorcycle riders. It is expected to arrive at 11 a.m. and will be erected between noon and 2. At 3 p.m. today, a ceremony to introduce the wall and open it for visitation will take place at 3 o'clock. And then you have the tomorrow, there'll be a complete ceremony. Tomorrow, Friday, 10 a.m., memorial service, honor guard, national anthem. Speakers will be Bill Robertson, George Nelson, Rick Scott, Speaker of the House David Rost, and County Commissioner, Chair Commissioner Stan Helton, and Mayor Donna Whitener. There will be visits by students all day from schools and so forth. So anyhow, you can look that up. Go to Georgia Blue Ridge. That's the website, BlueRidgeMountains.com. Go to BlueRidgeMountains.com and check out the Vietnam Traveling Memorial Wall and all the details. All right, and we will have somebody there today, and we will have somebody there tomorrow for the ceremony, FetchYourNews.com. All right, now getting back to the president's own words. So I have the next video, okay? So the next video, I want to start it at at 51 minutes and 22 seconds. All right. Now, this is the one where the President of the United States takes on Jeff Mason. And this is the one where we find out that Shifty Shift, okay, the New York Times reported, we'll see what the president thinks. We're going to do 51-22. We're going to start that one.
So I just want to thank you. Outstanding. John Roberts.
Mr. President, thank you. President Inishno. If I could, sir, I've got two pertinent questions to ask you. Maybe I could ask them separately to get a fresh answer out of each one. The three House committees that are looking into the impeachment inquiry gave notice today that they will be sending a subpoena to the White House for documents and other materials. Will you cooperate with those subpoenas?
Well, I always cooperate. This is a hoax. This is the greatest hoax. This is just a continuation of what's been playing out, John, for the last, since my election, I would say, if you want, and probably we'll find out soon, but probably even before my election. This is a fraudulent crime on the American people, but we'll work together with Shifty Shift and Pelosi and all of them, and we'll see what happens, because we did absolutely. I had a great call with the president of Ukraine. It was 100%. You have the transcript. And then Schiff went up and he got, as the chairman of the committee, got up and related a call that didn't take place. He made up the language. Hard to believe. Nobody's ever seen this. I think he had some kind of a mental breakdown. But he went up to the microphone and he read a statement from the President of the United States as if I were on the call. Because what happened is when he looked at the sheet, which was an exact transcript of my call, done by very talented people that do this, exact, word for word, he said, wow, he didn't do anything wrong. So he made it up. He went up to a microphone and in front of the American people and in Congress, he went out and he gave a whole presentation of words that the President of the United States never said. It has to be a criminal act. It has to be. And he should resign. And some people even say it was treason. But it was a very sad thing. Just so you know, the call was perfect, the real call, the call I made. Many people were on the line. I knew that because usually when I speak to foreign country leaders, you can name any one of them, but when I speak on the phone, I know that we have many people listening from various intelligence agencies. My knowledge, I know all about it. And so this isn't something like, oh, gee, I'm on the line. Let's talk about a big secret. This is many people on the line. I don't even know how many. We'll find out, I guess. But many people. Mike Pompeo was on the line. Didn't say anything. He just, because they listen for both knowledge and for security reasons and for lots of reasons. But the president of Ukraine at the United Nations the other day, and previous to that, he announced through his spokesperson, said there was absolutely no pressure put on him. There was no quid pro quo at all. And if you look at this whistleblowers, which I have a lot of respect for whistleblowers, but only when they're real, his report of the phone call was totally different than the fact. But what got them was they never thought I was going to release the call, because I don't like doing that. I don't want to do it. I hope I don't have to do it again. Release phone calls to foreign dignitaries, to foreign leaders. I don't want to do that, John. I don't want to do it again. But I did it with the permission of the Ukrainian government. We got permission. We called up their representatives and asked them, would it be okay? Otherwise, I couldn't have done it. And if I wouldn't have done it, I would have been exposed to a lie. Because the whistleblower report, didn't he say 7 or 8 times I said quid pro quo? In other words, you're going to do this or you're not going to get money. Now, in all fairness, Biden said it, and he's on tape. In all fairness, you have at least 4 United States senators, Democrats, that said it, and they said it a lot stronger than even Schiff and his made-up story said it. Obama, when he was dealing with the president of Russia, not Putin, he said, hey, tell Vladimir I can do a lot more after the election. You remember that? You didn't make a big deal out of that. Everybody thought, oh, isn't that cute? Isn't that cute? My talk and my response, Lindsey Graham said, I never knew you were that nice. I can't believe you were that nice. He said that loud and clear. It was perfect. It was perfect. Not a thing wrong with it. To impeach a president over a fraud that was committed by other people, that want to win an election in 2020, which they won't, is incredible. This is the greatest hoax. Now, it's gone on for a long time. We had the Mueller collusion delusion, okay? That went on for years. And that's finally done. No collusion, no obstruction, no nothing. It was a joke, and everyone knows it. And it was from the day one. Now, I get 3 days of peace, and I'm walking into the United Nations, going to meet with the biggest leaders in the world, and I hear about the word impeachment. I said, what did I do now? And it was about a beautiful conversation that I had. And just remember this, the Ukrainian new president, a fine man, said, I don't know what you're talking about. There was no pressure. And he said it a number of times. Okay, what's your second question? Well, you shouldn't be asking two questions.
Well, you're going to want to answer.
Do me a favor. Ask one of the
I will, but I think you'll want, I think you'll want to answer this question.
Ask
sir.
one of the Finnish presidents.
And then can I come back to you? Because I think you'll want to answer.
We'll talk later, sure. Well, it sounds like it might be a good question. Let me see if I like the question. Go ahead. Maybe for the first time in 3 years, I'll have a good question, and I'll love it.
There is a report that came out just before you and President Niinistö walked out here that the whistleblower met with a staff member of Adam Schiff prior
I
to
love
the
that
complaint
question.
being filed.
It shows that Schiff is a fraud.
And
I love that question. Thank you, John.
So can I finish asking it?
Yes, there's nothing to finish.
So the whistleblower, according to this report, met with a member of Adam Schiff's staff. You got it right there. You know it.
I hate to say it's the New York Times. I can't believe they wrote it.
Your response to the
Maybe
fact
they're
that,
getting better.
Your response to the fact that that happened and that Schiff may have learned some of what the whistleblower knew prior to the complaint.
Well, I think it's a scandal that he knew before. I go a step further. I think he probably helped write it. Okay? That's what the word is. And I think it's, I give a lot of respect for the New York Times for putting it out. Just happened as I'm walking up here, they handed it to me. And I said to Mike, I said, whoa, that's something. That's big stuff. That's a big story. He knew long before, and he helped write it too. It's a scam. It's a scam. Just to finish on this, I appreciate it. I love that second question, by the way. Should have asked it first. But let me just tell you, the whole thing is a scam. The Mueller deal was a scam. The Russian collusion was a scam. You can ask Putin. Nobody's been rougher on Russia than Donald Trump, okay? Now, with that being said, it would be great to get along with Russia, and we will get along with Russia because it's smart. But nobody's been tougher on Russia than Donald Trump. Okay, ask one, please.
Yes, President Niinistö, good to see you again.
Good to see you again.
All right, we know, folks, we absolutely know that Adam Schiff was well aware of the whistleblower, the spy, okay, because the spy in the White House was there, okay, on the assignment was from the deep state. And when they got where they needed to be, Adam Schiff released this. They are trying to yell the loudest. So we know from the New York Times that Adam Schiff says he doesn't know who the whistleblower is. I feel it's a lie. We feel here that he helped write the whistleblower's complaint, knew of it well in advance. These are criminals, folks, criminals. I'm telling you, so today, like I said, I'm trying to do some things in the president's own words, okay? So it's a hoax. We will find out soon. Trust me, we will find out soon. He had a mental breakdown, and I think he's a criminal and he should resign. So let's go to, I think, 1 hour, an exact 1 hour and 47 seconds. Now remember, Jeff Mason of Reuters, okay? I love when the president sets the media straight, but 1 hour and 47 seconds. Let's go there, and 1.00.47.
Question for President Trump and one question for President Niinistö. First, Mr. Trump, how will this political storm affect the U.S. foreign policy, especially its relationship with Finland? And second, for President Niinistö, because this is the biggest issue here at the moment, I have to ask, what kind of favors has Mr. Trump asked from you?
Or the other way around, you mean?
What favors I asked, or
I think you mean the other way around.
Both ways, okay.
So the political storm, I've lived with it from the day I got elected. I've done more, and this administration has done more than any administration in the history of this country in the first 2.5 years. I'm used to it. For me, it's like putting on a suit in the morning. People have said to me, how does he handle it? Rush Limbaugh said, I don't know of any man in America that could handle it. Sean Hannity said the same thing. Others have said the same thing. I don't know any man in America, because it's all a fraud. And because of that, and because I know that I'm right, and because I'm doing a great job for the American people, I'm very, very happy living the way I'm living. I thought that I would finish off the first term without the threat of people making false claims. But this one turned out to be incredible, all because they didn't know that I had a transcript done by very, very talented people, word for word, comma for comma, done by people that do it for a living. We had an exact transcript. And when we produced that transcript, they died, because you look at the whistleblower statement, and it's vicious, vicious. And that whistleblower, there's no question in my mind that some bad things have gone on, and I think we'll get to the bottom of it. I think it's going to be a total reversal. But I've lived with this. I've lived with this cloud now for almost 3 years. More than that, because it probably started even before. And I think nobody has done what I've done when you look at tax cuts and regulation cuts and rebuilding our military and right to try. That means people that are terminally ill and very sick have the right to use our medicines, our great medicines, because we're so far ahead of every other country. So many things that we've done. Our vets are now taken care of. We got choice. Nobody thought we could ever get choice. That's when you have to wait online as a vet. You go outside, you get a doctor, we pay the bill. You don't have to wait for 3 weeks to see a doctor if you're a vet. We cherish our vets. At least this administration does, but for many years they didn't. But I take care of the vets. No administration has done, and I've lived with it from the day I got elected. So I'm just fine with it, okay? Please.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Again, the ultimate disrespect in this country with the Finland president there, and that is even a, I guess, Finland reporter. Ultimate disrespect to our allies, and what Adam Schiff, I don't know how these people, the Democrats, live with themselves, knowing what they are doing to try to they will destroy this country at any cost with George Soros to get to rebuild it in their image. And trust me, you do not want that. So let's go to one more. Now, this one here, I love when the President of the United States says Joe Biden and his son are stone cold criminals, okay? I think that's what he says. But let's go to, I think this one is 1.04.41. And let's go here, and this is where Jeff Mason gets himself straightened right out.
Thank you, sir. Jeff Mason from Reuters. Mr. President, I'd like to ask you about your use of the word treason. You've used it repeatedly in the last few days. Do you consider anyone who opposes you treasonous?
No, I consider when they lie, when they stand before our great body in our great chamber, and they make up a story that's fiction, like Schiff did. He took that perfect conversation I had with the Ukrainian president, and he made it into a total lie. It was a total fabrication. And you do admit that. It was a total fabrication. He said this is what, and the only ones that don't like my conversation are the ones that never read it, but they heard Shifty Schiff. That's what I call a lie, and because of the fact that he's lying about the President of the United States and as to what the President says. You know, I believe it or not, I watch my words very carefully. There are those that think I'm a very stable genius, okay? I watch my words very, very closely. And to have somebody get up and to totally fabricate a conversation that I had with another leader and make it sound so bad, it was so evil. And now I see this that just came out minutes ago, where he met at a time that was impossible to have done unless there's corruption involved. And just so you know, we've been investigating on a personal basis through Rudy and others, lawyers, corruption in the 2016 election. We've been investigating corruption because I probably will, I was going to definitely, but I probably will be bringing a lot of litigation against a lot of people having to do with the corrupt investigation, having to do with the 2016 election.
For example?
And I have every right to do that because the way they've treated me and other people, they've destroyed people, they've destroyed their lives with a phony charge that never existed, and that was collusion, never existed. And you had 18 people that hated Donald Trump, and you had Bob Mueller that hated Donald Trump. And in the end, they couldn't find one damn thing. I could find it on you. They couldn't find one thing about Donald Trump having to do with collusion. This is after 2 years and spending $42 million. And I've been looking at that long and hard for a long period of time. How it started, why it started, it should never happen to another president, ever. But I've been talking about it from the standpoint of bringing a major lawsuit, and I've been talking about it for a long time. We've been investigating the corruption having to do with what they did to my people. They destroyed many people. They came down to Washington to do a great job, and they left home. They left Washington dark. They were dark. They came down here, I say bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. They wanted to do a great job for the people. They wanted to do a great job. We won the election. And then they get served with subpoenas, all these subpoenas. Now look at Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi hands out subpoenas, you know, she has to approve it. She hands out subpoenas like they're cookies. You want a subpoena? Here you go, take them, like they're cookies. Paul Ryan would never give anybody a subpoena. He wouldn't give them when Mark Meadows went in to talk. He wouldn't give them when Jim Jordan went in, when Devin Nunes. He would go in and they'd see Paul. I'm not saying wrong or right, but Paul Ryan, no, let's talk about it. That's a big thing to give a subpoena. Let's talk about it. 2 weeks later, they're still talking. They wanted subpoenas to investigate the corrupt Democrats and the corrupt people on the other side. Paul Ryan would not give subpoenas. Nancy Pelosi, here you go, take it. Who wants a subpoena? Every day you get subpoenas. And Paul Ryan was actually right, probably, because they should never, ever allow a thing like this to happen to our country again. Thank you very much, please.
Mr. President, can you just make clear right here, what do you or what did you want President Zelensky to do with regard to Joe and Hunter Biden?
If you look at what he said, okay, and he brought it up. I think he brought up the name Rudy Giuliani. What I want is the following, and I've said this loud and clear. We have our ambassadors here. We have Mike Pence here. Why are we the only ones that give the big money to the Ukraine? We give money to Ukraine, and it's bothered me from day one, and you have plenty of people just here. I say, how come it's always the United States that gets ripped? Frankly, Ukraine, we want to help them. And I do like the new president. You know why I like him? Because he was honest. Because he said there was no pressure at all exerted on me, meaning him, by the President of the United States. He said it. By the way, that one sentence should stop this. But he said there was no pressure exerted. But you don't have to ask him. All you have to do is read the transcript, read the telephone call. But what I was having a problem with are two things. Number one, Ukraine is known before him for tremendous corruption. Tremendous. More than just about any country in the world. In fact, they're rated one of the most corrupt countries in the world. And I don't like giving money to a country that's that corrupt. Number two,
you don't like giving money.
Excuse me. Number two, I said the following. And I said this loud and clear to everybody. And in fact, Rob Portman backed me up, and there's nobody more honorable than Rob Portman of Ohio. Because he called up, please let the money go. I said, Rob, I hate being the country that's always giving money. When Ukraine helps Europe and the European countries far more than they help us. They're like a wall between Russia and Europe. They're like a wall. They're a big, wide, beautiful wall. And he said, you know what, but it's important. And in fact, he came out and he said that. That was my only reason. Because I don't like being the sucker country. We were the sucker country for years and years. We're not the sucker country anymore. But I gave the money because Rob Portman and others called me and asked. but I don't like to be the sucker. And European countries are helped far more than we are, and those countries should pay more to help Ukraine. Ask a question, please.
Thank you, sir.
What about Mr. Biden? What did you want about Biden? What did you want him to look into on Biden?
Look, Biden and his son are stone cold crooked, and you know it. His son walks out with millions of dollars. The kid knows nothing. You know it, and so do we. Go ahead, ask a question.
But the question, sir, was what did you want President Zelensky to do about Vice President Biden and his son Hunter?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, it was just a follow-up of what I just asked you, sir.
Listen, you ready? We have the President of Finland. Ask him a question.
I have one for him. I just wanted to follow up on the one that I asked you, which was,
Did you hear
what
me?
did you want
Did you hear me?
Yes,
Ask
sir.
him a question.
I will, but
I've given you a long answer. Ask this gentleman a question. Don't be rude.
No, sir, I don't want to be rude. I just wanted you to have a chance to answer the question that I asked you.
I've answered everything. It's a whole hoax. And you know who's playing into the hoax? People like you and the fake news media that we have in this country. And I say in many cases, the corrupt media, because you're corrupt. Much of the media in this country is not just fake, it's corrupt. And you have some very fine people, too. Great journalists, great reporters. But to a large extent, it's corrupt and it's fake. Ask the President of Finland a question, please.
Okay, I'll move on now. Mr. President, in your opening remarks, you said to President Trump that you had been to some museums today and that you respected the U.S. democracy and encouraged him to continue it.
The corrupt media. And what do you hear from me all the time? I think I started hashtag deep state corporate corrupt media a long time ago. You're corrupt. Tell me, people like you, okay? Are you talking to me? Are you talking to me? Biden and his son, did you not like right in the camera? Biden and his son are stone cold crooked. You know it. I don't want to be the sucker country anymore. We're not the suckers, okay? I'm tired of being the sucker country. Man, if you're figuring out why you voted for Donald Trump, if you're looking for your reason to vote for him again, and tell your friends, I have produced that for you this morning. I hate being the country who keeps giving money, like giving money to countries that are corrupt. On day one, I said in office, from day one, no, we're not just going to give out money for corrupt politicians and corrupt countries. Like cookies, Paul Ryan, no subpoenas. What did I open with this morning? What did I show you? How did we get here? We did the whole thing at 8 a.m. Paul Ryan, okay, wouldn't hand out subpoenas. Nancy Pelosi, like cookies, shifts a total liar. They lie. All they're doing is seeing who can yell the loudest. We'll come back and wrap this up. Do you have this? Candace, the Freedom Zone, right after I go off at 10, stay right here. We fire back up. And Candace, do you have her card that you could put up for me real quick? At 10 o'clock, stay with us, because Candace in the Freedom Zone comes up right at 10. There she is. She has a great show today, and I know she has some information you're going to want to hear about Clinton and all of this. So I'm your host. Take a brief break. We'll be right back.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in Ella next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in Ella next to Walmart.
Circuit World, with multiple locations to serve you in Murphy and Franklin, North Carolina, Blairsville, Blue Ridge, and Ellijay, Georgia. Locally owned and operated since 1985. Appliances, electronics, and furniture. Name brand products like LG, Samsung, Dell, Whirlpool, Ashley, Catnapper, and more. No credit check, only 10% down on furniture, and only $10 down on any new lease purchase. Mention FYN10 for your special deal today at Circuit World.
Do you feel like healthcare has become too impersonal?
3 times an hour, I'll get you in, I'll get you out.
At Lifetime Medical Center, you're more than a number. We get to know you, not just your medical issues. Dr. Alana Kent is board certified in family practice and offers same-day appointments. She and her staff treat conditions from minor to chronic issues. Lifetime Medical Center, convenient to Jasper and Blue Ridge.
This may sting a little.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Hey folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. I'm going to tell you something, man. I think the guy is like the biggest coward I've ever met. Chris Clinton, the sheriff of Towns County, he is a coward. He is a coward. He goes on a radio station. We're not going to knock the radio station because I know the owner of the station. They're good people, but there's a show there that he goes on in the mornings and he yells, "We're fake news," and so on and so forth. And he is just a coward. He does not have the cojones to face me. So if anybody's watching from Towns County, ask Chris Clinton why he does not have the cojones, why he doesn't have a set to debate me on the air. I wish I had enough money, because I don't. And we're going to say alleged, and we're going to say I think, and it would be possible, because we're not going to call it out, because him and his lovely bride that goes around lying and bad-mouthing and bashing us all the time up there in that area. But that being said, you know, I would love to have enough money to just rip into that sheriff's office and tear into every piece of paperwork to see if there's possible alleged, because we get the emails, corruption, possible alleged problems in his office. All right, so that being said, oh, did you miss? I don't care for him very much. All right, we talked about the Vietnam. Put that up one more time, Sam, number 35. Okay. Number 35, I have it here somewhere. Where is, I thought I had the... I thought I had the Vietnam traveling wall up. There it is. It's in Blue Ridge today at 2. Go check out the Vietnam traveling wall in Blue Ridge today at 2. And we'll give you more information on tomorrow's show. Friday, we will be tomorrow morning, Sycamore Crossing in Blue Ridge. Can't wait for that show. Sycamore Crossing in Blue Ridge. Tomorrow morning, Ask the Doc. Ask the Doc. All-Star Political Panel, Pet of the Week, North Georgia Senior Living. Now, Ukrainian prosecutor that Biden got fired says he was told to back off the investigation. So this is on the Daily Wire. Ukrainian prosecutor that Biden got fired says he was told to back off investigation, reports say. Former Ukrainian prosecutor Viktor Shokin, who was fired after then Vice President Joe Biden pressured the president of Ukraine to fire him as he investigated a company, Burisma, that employed Biden's son, Hunter. Also, Devin Archer, you want to look into that, John Kerry, says that he was told to back off the investigation into the company before he was fired. This is a quote. The fired prosecutor at the center of the Ukrainian controversy said during a private interview with President Trump's personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani, earlier this year that he was told to back off an investigation into a natural gas firm that was linked to Biden's son, according to details in an interview that were handed over to Congress by the State Department Inspector General Wednesday. Handed over Wednesday. They will not hear any evidence. Okay? So give me number 32. 32. State Department IG turns over documents to Congress. House Dems say package contained debunked conspiracy theories. So if it, number 32, if Giuliani is publicly saying that Shokin was told to back off, okay, and this package went in yesterday, it's debunked. We've debunked it, all right? So I had another one I was going to bring up. I'm telling you, there's another one I want to look at really quick, see if I have it here. GOP demands equal playing field ahead of former Ukrainian envoy Volker scheduled to testimony. Okay? House Republicans are demanding an equal playing field in the Democrat-led impeachment probe against President Trump's Intelligence Committee Chairman Adam Schiff said ahead of Thursday's scheduled today testimony from former U.S. envoy of Ukraine, Kurt Volker, that GOP members of the Foreign Affairs Committee will not be permitted to ask questions or have equal representation during the session. So he's going to bring in, okay, they're going to bring in, when he says equal representation, one, they're not going to get to answer questions, and two, they're not going to be able to have all their little advisors behind them like the Democrats. Democrats can bring anybody they want, and they will have all the time they want, and Republicans will not be heard. I just put it up, number 32 again. I'm going to do it one more time just to say it. The IG said we need to give you some information. 2 days ago, the media yelled, "Oh my God, it's information we have to have now. It's urgent. It's urgent." So it went behind closed doors. You're not hearing the reports. And House Dems say a package containing debunked conspiracy theories. They're not even going to talk about it. So no longer is this the urgency. So let me go through my pictures once again. Number 31. Well, this is the roundup of the show, so we're going to start counting down some pictures one after another. Trump lashes out over impeachment inquiry, calls probe bullshit. I love it. Bullshit. Remember when you're like in the 6th grade and the teacher went by and you went, bullshit. And who said that? It wasn't me. I'm doing my... Remember? Trump just called it right out. Anyhow, calls probe bullshit, slams Adam Schiff, scolds reporter. Scolded him. Scolded him. What the hell's wrong with you guys? You know Biden and his son are stone cold crooked. And you're asking me about a phone call and why I held up the American people's tax money, because we're not suckers any longer. All right, let's go to number 30. Trump lashes out at impeachment inquiry. Adam Schiff should be so lucky to have the brains, honor, and strength of Secretary of State Mike Pompeo for a lowlife like Schiff, who completely fabricated my words and ran them to Congress as though they were said by me, to demean a first-in-class West Point is sad. Schiff, White House Intel chairman, got early account of whistleblowers' accusations. Schiff is a fraud, shifty Schiff, and he could not even carry Mike Pompeo's jockstrap. That's what he said. Let's go to number 29. The do-nothing Democrats should be focused on building up our country, not wasting everybody's time and energy on bullshit. I love it. I love it. All right. So here is Bernie Sanders, number 27. Let me just roll this out. Don't forget, Bernie, number 27. This is the guy that wants Medicare for all. But he enjoyed his senator, U.S. Senator privileged health care, where he's got his stents put in, everything's done, 24 hours, no appointments, bada bing, bada boom, he's finished. This guy is a multi-millionaire. He is. He enjoys his privileges, his white old man privileges, and he got to enjoy the privileges of the great American healthcare system with his Senate healthcare card. Number 26. I'm not going anywhere. I got to keep that one around. I'm not going anywhere. Rips Trump's effort to smear him and his family. You may try to smear me, but I'm not going anywhere. Number 25. MSNBC right out of the box, 5 a.m. Eastern Time. Trump unleashes profanity. Bullshit. He unleashes, now this is their, they determine things. It's just like you can't impeach this guy because Adam Schiff and the Democrats have already predetermined the verdict. He's guilty. There's no hearing. Trump unleashes profanity and false accusations amid growing impeachment inquiry. They've determined this. Okay? Number 24, we just throw this. I might bypass some of them. The New York Times, Schiff got early account of accusations as whistleblower concerns grew. The House staff member, this is Schiff's, the House staff member followed the committee's procedures, suggested the officer find a lawyer, suggested the officer find a lawyer and advise him to meet with Inspector General with whom he could file a whistleblower complaint. Meet with him. Here, we're going to write it. Number 23. We're going to write, Schiff got early account of accusations as whistleblowers' concerns grew. We're going to write. Now, you might think MSNBC, they did this story. No, if you're watching them, they put this up. So don't take what I'm doing this morning as, look, MSNBC is doing the story. No. They put this up and then they exonerate. Then they spend the time exonerating and chopping down where this is not real. But it is, but it's not. You did see it, but you didn't. That's what they do. Schiff got early account, the whistleblower, days before. We think you should go to the IG and find out how to file a complaint. But here, take this with you. Here's the complaint. Number 22. A little pencil neck geek is getting firm here. We're not fooling around. We're not fooling around. They want Putin's transcripts. Number 21, Putin. I'm not against U.S. releasing transcripts of my calls with Trump. I'm not against it. Let me tell you something. Any good attorney will tell you, don't say anything you do not want read back to you in the court of law. Period. So Putin said, put them out there. Okay. Number 20. Biden addresses his Ukraine record in effort to clear allegations by Trump. Okay, there you go. Let's go to, here we go. I told you, right after Biden, I did this on purpose. This guy is MSNBC, I forget what his name is, 19. Biden, no truth in Trump's allegations. What they do is they will pull up what Trump says and what's going on, and then they will pull their time into exonerating Democrats, running cover for them. Number 18, Biden, no truth in Trump's allegations. Number 17, MSNBC, Biden to Trump, I'm not going anywhere. Number 16, once an obscure diplomat, Volker at the center of Trump inquiry. He did work for the State Department. He was recalled from Ukraine by resigning from the State Department last Friday. Made it to where the State Department could not, now you think about this, could not legally tell him not to testify. So do you think the State Department and Mike Pompeo, he's a very smart man, when I say allowed this guy to resign Friday so he could be here this Thursday to testify, not under the thumb of the State Department? Do you not think they already know what he's going to do and say? I think so. That's why they won't let Republicans talk to this guy. Volker is behind closed doors now. He was a member, he was a Ukrainian diplomat, okay? He was called back, and he's at the center of the Trump inquiry because let me tell you what he's doing. He's testifying behind closed doors where Adam Schiff will not let Republicans ask questions, provide documents, question evidence that they have or have assistants with them to help because they don't want to know. Number 15, there's the man. Giuliani consulted with Manafort on Ukraine. Oh, hell yeah. I don't know the details, but if I'm Giuliani, Paul, tell me everything I need to know before I go over there. This is the guy they threw in jail, Paul Manafort. You will see. This will unravel on Democrats like nothing. No wonder they kept Guantanamo Bay open. Maybe we need to send some Dems down there to play volleyball with the other whatevers. 14. Representative Max Rose in New York announces support for impeachment. Oh, there's a shocker. This is the one the president brought up yesterday. I did not get in too deep. Let me say this. I did not get in too deep with it. President Trump laughed off yesterday. Number 13, shoot migrants in the leg, build alligator moat behind Trump's ideal of the border. Really? He laughed about that. This is what they're doing every day. Number 10. Okay, see, watch what they're doing. They're tying, okay, Mike Pence to Trump in the Ukraine. They want to impeach both. Just watch for that, okay? They want to impeach both. Number 9, Axios. Impeachment engulfs government. Every single day there will be polling numbers to try to pressure you to turn on the president. There'll be polling numbers to make you believe that the American people are turning on the president. This is all all fake, phony poll numbers. Number 8, should Congress begin impeachment proceedings to remove President Trump? Number 8. You really want me to believe that 46% of Americans say, yes, let's remove President Trump? Number 8. Okay, there we go. Thank you. Program might freeze up. I don't want to give a hard time to the producer. The program sometimes might have a catch and it doesn't pull up the picture as quick as I call for it. Number 7, President of Finland swats Trump's hand away during a meeting. Trump goes at him. He goes, I think, look, if you look at the face on this guy yesterday, he can't get out of this damn country fast enough because he comes here because he knows the World Trade Organization, the EU, Airbus. He knows with Brexit, he knows he needs to talk to the President of the United States about serious stuff. And if you look on his face yesterday, he's like, how the hell do I get out of here? Okay? I'm glad I don't deal with this at home. Number 6, not 56, 6. What is the main reason Congress should begin? What is the main reason Congress should begin impeachment proceedings? So you get this call. What is the main reason Congress should begin impeachment proceedings? 58% because Trump committed an impeachable offense. See, or Trump has proven he's unfit to serve. Those are the two questions. Those are the two answers. All right? So the people that say, you know what, those are my two answers, I'm hanging up the phone, they're not in the survey. Number 5, New York Times, Adam Schiff. We're not fooling around here. We're not fooling around. We're corrupt as they come, and we've got George Soros' money to back us. House Democrats vowed to subpoena White House. And let's remember let's do this. Let's go with number 3. Let's end the show there. Paul Ryan, right? Paul Ryan did not give out the subpoenas like Nancy Pelosi, Nancy with the cookies. So let me look at the camera and say, you know what? Adam Schiff, you couldn't carry Mike Pompeo's jockstrap. Love that. This is all a bunch of bullshit, like the president says. And you know Biden and his son are stone cold corrupt. Okay, crooked. Stone cold crooked. You know Biden and his son are stone cold crooked. And we also know that your host, BKP, I have been saying for the longest time, I don't say fake news that much anymore, but that often. I have said for the longest time, because I know the president got it from me, you know he did, hashtag deep state corporate corrupt media. Absolutely, right? Hashtag deep state corporate corrupt media. We're going to be at Sycamore Crossing in the morning in Blue Ridge. Can't wait to get there. As I always say, I wonder if the All-Star panel will have anything to talk about. So I will be your host there in the morning. We will have Dr. William Whaley. Ask the Doc. We will have the All-Star Political Panel. Then we will have North Georgia Senior Living with Jesse Barton, the Community Relations Director at Cameron Hall. Boom, got it. And then we'll have the Pet of the Week from the Humane Society of Blue Ridge. Rena will bring us a Pet of the Week. We round it out that way. There you go. There you go. There you go. Now, stay tuned, right? Don't go anywhere. Brief little break, and it's time for the Freedom Zone right there with Candace. Take us out.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge, we have your new house in stock.